GM. GM. What the fuck am I? What's this? Mask. Take that off. GM. Today is Tuesday. And it is the 5th of December 2023. And let's do daily levels. So, contrary to popular belief, the top is not in. Not in my opinion. I've seen this before, right? Of course, it doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but when you have a very uninspiring and frankly not overly exciting move like we had, this was more just of a steady grind up, right? It wasn't like this crazy pump. It wasn't like this crazy move. It wasn't even like the move from 9th of November. It's more of a steady grind up. Bitcoin just rising, price appreciating. And then it tops out. You go to a 60 1 hour chart. It has a little spike up, tops out, drops back. And as I went to sleep last night, I was looking at some of the different coins. And I was like, all right, a lot of these seem to be forming early bottoms, right? They're going to be forming boxes or forming accumulation ranges or whatever. And I thought, yeah, there's wicks below, right? Most of these alts have deep wicks below. And they might have to drop a little bit lower, but they seem to be forming bases. And then I woke up and I looked on Twitter and everyone's talking about the top. They're talking local top, they're talking be careful, they're talking... I mean, first of all, be careful. Sure, use your stop losses, but like I've been screaming for days, you should just be spot only at this point. And Bitcoin failed an attempt to break out, right? And failed an attempt to break out at 10 p.m. last night. So that's never a time, typically, that you get valid breakouts. The better breakouts, now we have had some, obviously you can have them at any time of day. But you see, most of the breakouts that stick will come in New York session or after the daily open. So pre-close, going into the close, you've got usually quite a high probability of failure. And then we drop back into this local support level. And it's holding. And I think it's compressing up to make a pattern like this to then eventually grind a bit higher, right? Where is not that. What was that one? Oh, I think that's what I was talking about with blue belts yesterday. So, no, to me, this isn't the overextended euphoric mania top. And so can it pull back? Yes, definitely it can. Of course, it always can. But I don't think it will. I think when people are sidelined, which they still are, it's just going to keep going. And you might ask, well, how are people sidelined? They clearly are sidelined. People were sidelined on this breakout. They didn't have any spot. If you don't have spot Bitcoin, you are sidelined. It's not about altcoins, because a lot of altcoins are underperforming here. It's a Bitcoin rally. And if you don't have spot Bitcoin and you're watching it go up and you didn't get on here because you thought it was going to pull back deeper, or maybe you tried to leverage trade it and got liquidated or stopped out or whatever, right? As it chops all the way here. And then you think, well, it's not going to break out on a Saturday, and then it breaks out on a Saturday. And you say, well, it's not going to break out on a Sunday, and it breaks out on a Sunday. And then you say, well, Saturday, Sunday is unreliable, so it's going to retrace all the way back down, and then it doesn't retrace all the way back down. And then eventually, you just have to FOMO in higher. But they won't even FOMO in higher. This is the weird thing. Like, this is how disbelief rallies go. And this is how entire bull markets form. Somebody is afraid and doesn't want to buy like this 30k breakout, I talked about it at the time. I was like, that's the breakout that we don't come back to. And since then, we've gone from 32 to 42. And people are still waiting to buy in. And you have to put yourself in the shoes of someone who's totally sidelined and doesn't know how to get in. Right, if you're a newer trader, you might not be in and you might not know how to get in, but you probably don't feel like extreme rage. You're a new trader. Like, you don't, in the nicest way possible, you don't have the right to be angry, right? You don't know what you don't know yet. In a few months, you'll know exactly how to trade and how to get yourself into these positions. But the existing traders, these are the ones that it's the person who's been in crypto for years and is sidelined, that they'll short this. Or they'll call for lower constantly. It's not because the price is going lower. They're trying to literally FUD it lower with their own bias. It's because they're sidelined. They didn't get in at 30, 32, 33. And this happened last cycle. Those people who didn't get in at 6 that wanted to get in at a dip to 5. They didn't get in at 10 because they wanted to get in at a dip to 8. And so on and so on and so on. The guy at 30 wants 29. The guy who could bought at 35, he wanted 33. The guy who could have bought at whatever, 37, 38 because of this compression said no. It's not going to break out on a weekend. Then it breaks out on a weekend. Then no. That weekend breakout's going to fail because it's a scam. Well, no, actually, maybe Bitcoin's just severely undervalued relative to its past few years of performance. And maybe you're just getting completely sidelined because you're too zoomed in and you think that Bitcoin has to behave like it behaved in 2022 or 2023, the first half. It doesn't. That's the fact of it. I look a lot online about FOMO, right? And the people I see, like friends, family members, all that kind of stuff, those anecdotal experiences. There's no crowd here. The herd isn't here. The masses aren't back. Not yet. And think of the average normie. If they saw a headline saying Bitcoin's $50,000, they'd be like, oh, wasn't it $50,000 2 years ago? What a piece of shit. Right? I thought this Bitcoin thing was supposed to go 100x. It's only 50,000. Idiots. It was 70,000 like 2 years ago, I remember, because I bought the top. Idiots. This is what like the average person. You might think 50k Bitcoin is going to be expensive or seem crazy because you're so zoomed in, as am I, by the way. This isn't like fucking me having a go. We're all so fucking zoomed in, and we have far stronger cases of recency bias to battle than the average normie. Because we seen Bitcoin 4 weeks ago at 28k. We saw Bitcoin 3 months ago at 24k after a fucking crash. And it's almost double. So, no price is too high. Revise your targets upwards. If you are in spot, no leverage, I talk about this with psychology, right? The fear and greed that drives us is actually about pain. It's about an avoidance of pain. And so your brain, whenever you're in a losing trade, your brain does not want to take the loss because it doesn't want to feel the pain of losing. Right? And when you're in a winner, it wants to take profit right away. It wants to get out because it doesn't want to feel the pain of 42k Bitcoin going back to 38k Bitcoin whenever you bought at 35. But what's more vicious than that is the opposite side. So when you're in the losing trade, your brain starts to operate on hope. It starts to think of all the ways that price might turn around. So let's use the example of bears at the moment. Bears at the moment are looking at that wick and thinking, it's okay, I'm short because false breakout, it's going to reverse, it's all bearish, look at this, it's crazy, it's overextended. They will cope endlessly because that's all they have. Cope and hope are the same thing. On the way down, when you're in a long and price is going against you and you know you should get out but you don't, that's hope. You're hoping it goes up. When it's going up and you're short and you're getting squeezed, you start coping. Like, no, I'm right. Do you not notice this? If you've ever traded, if you've ever taken a long and a short and been wrong, which I would like to think is absolutely everybody here. If you've never been wrong as a trader, then you're not a trader. You react differently to a losing long. You start to look for good news. If you're in a long and it's losing, you start to look anywhere for anything that could be good news. Anything that's like RSI or this or that. You're not defending your position. You're not like, I'm really bullish. You're like, this funding rate looks good, and right? You're hoping. Hope. It's like, it's quite a feminine trait. Feminine the right word? No, not feminine. What's the word I'm looking for? It's quite a... When you're hoping and you're sort of wishing and praying, it's irrational, right? Well, obviously it's irrational. Fucking everything in trading is irrational. The point I'm trying to make is... I haven't had my morning coffee, right? This is one of the negative sides of not getting my dopamine fix before I do my work. But the positives are, it keeps me disciplined. So, when you go into that feeling of hope, it's very disempowering. Is that a good word? It's probably a good word, right? Every one of us likes to think that we're in control of our lives, right? We're the master of our own destiny. We are disciplined. We follow a plan. We think rationally. We always make the right decision. We're logical. We're aggressive when we need to be, but we're patient, yeah? And then a winning trade goes against you, a long trade goes against you, and suddenly you're looking up indicators and looking up charts that you've never looked at before to try and confirm some potential or price going up. That's hope. Now, flip it. When you're in a short and you're wrong, which happens all the time in bull markets and happens all the time in crypto, which is why you should just not short crypto on anything above a day trading time frame, right? If you're day trading or scalping and you get in and out in a few minutes or a few hours and you've got a stop loss, cool. Short till your heart's content. Never move your stop loss. That's fine. Swing trading, position trading, shorting in those scenarios is idiotic in a bull market. Full stop. You think there's going to be a 4-week pullback now after the ETF? Cool. Don't short it. Because that's not a bear market. You short, you swing short, you position trade short a bear market. You don't swing trade or position trade short the first pullback in a bull market. Because it won't go like you think. Now, when you're in a short and you're wrong, let's say you shorted 40k, right? 40k breakout here. Wick above comes back below 39.8, you short that. Then it goes up, boom. And up again, and again, and again. And you don't close, not because of hope. When you're in a short like this and you're wrong, you don't hope. You cope. You get angry at the market. You get angry at the chart. You get angry at all the stupid Bitcoin maxis. You get angry at all the, look at all these retards that make money. How can everyone make money? How can all these idiots make money? And you're angry because you're losing money and these supposedly stupid people are making money. It's cope. It's the same idea, right? You're still pulling fucking random lines out on the chart to say, oh, it has to go down because of this or this. Look at this false breakout, swing failure pattern. That kind of shit is cope. That is not rational. That is not logical. But that's what they do, and that's why the market goes up more than you think. It's literal anger, hated rally, disbelief rally, anger, anger, anger all the way. And I still see so much fucking anger on my timeline. I saw one guy have a mental breakdown yesterday talking about how he's going to keep shorting the 43. And he's gone to the point where he's saying, I don't care when it goes down. I know it's going down. And I'm like, bro, you're so fucked. He's like, the whole ETF move just seems fake to me. Like, oh my god, seems, right? Sounds very objective. You must have backtested that system a lot. Seems. It's like fucking idiots. It's like, it's okay, bro. You're sidelined, right? You're not long. Okay, cool. Don't revenge short it and then just make up bullshit about how I'm going to keep shorting to 43. No, you won't, because it'll go to 44 and you'll somehow still be in the trade. And these people are going to get squeezed. There's only a couple of times a year when the squeeze is aggressive enough. And there's a catalyst, like we have fucking ETF coming in 30 days. There are only a few times a year when there is enough juice in the market to have extreme moves like this. Bulls and bears know this, and they're going to take advantage of this. Right? So bears take advantage of this whenever like FTX collapses or Luna collapses. They take advantage of the mass selling to really smash price down and get better entries. But bulls know this is the time. There's no point fucking flash crashing at the 33k here. We're squeezing bears. We're squeezing idiots that are trying to short too early. Yes, there's going to be leverage flushes of over leveraged longs, but you saw one yesterday. That was all Bitcoin could muster. Altcoins had crazy wicks. It's up. It's up. It's up. It's up. It's going up. It's fucking going up. It's going up. Don't use leverage. Stay in spot. And allow it to go up way more than you think. So that rant I did about hope and cope, the point of that was, it's not bad to hope. The time you should hope is when you're right. So, that feeling of, oh, I really hope it turns around. Maybe this RSI, which I never look at, is actually bullish. How about you start doing that when you're ahead? When you're winning? When you bought at 37 and now it's at 42. And you're like, your brain wants to take profit. Wait a minute. What if? What if it went to 43? What if it went to 45? What if it went to 50? That's not greed. Because the market is agreeing with you. You are right. The market has said, which doesn't happen a lot, by the way. Don't believe what you see online. Most people are wrong most of the time. The fact is that when you're right, you make a lot more money than when you're wrong, if you manage risk. And so when you are right, you need to push it. That doesn't mean you have to double down or add size or anything like that. Nothing like that. It just means if you bought 30 or 32 or 33 or 36, wait for a really clear sign that the market is saying get out. This is not a really clear sign. You know what is a really clear sign? And yes, you might have to, oh no, I might not get 41.7. If the market goes like that, and then up like that, in a complacency bounce, you can get out. Right? When everyone else is like, oh, healthy shakeout, blah, blah, you can get out there. Because the market has said, maybe this isn't that healthy. Don't get out here. Get out here. It will fucking bounce. It always fucking bounces. It bounces right at the point where you think it's not going to bounce. But right now, we have absolutely none of that. This is a bullish market. And when we look back at this, in a few days' time, this has probably formed some super strong, like pennant, triangle, compressing, whatever. And is ready to just grind higher. 43, sideways chop, messy, 45. I don't think it's going to be up only like these impulse, bull flag, impulse, bull flag. I think it's going to be a bit messier. There's going to be lots of false tops, but the momentum is absolutely up, and it's undeniable momentum. So, and that big day, like do that daily volume, that big valid daily breakout after Saturday, Sunday, where it could have reversed. Nope, pumped, closed at the highs, closed at 42k. I mean, this just, to me, this one's 48, 50k. That's just my view on it. I don't think this is a blow off top. People calling it a blow off top obviously haven't really looked at charts much. It's only just broken out, like 39, right? It's only just broken out of a multi-week consolidation and is about 15% above it. That's not a blow off top, right? If you're looking at equivalents, you've just broken out of this consolidation, right? Or this consolidation, depending which way you look at it. The blow off top is all this madness here, where you have day after day after day of wide green candles. Now, we might not get that because the nature of the market is that it's, you know, more efficient, more mature, etc. I'm still willing to bet that Bitcoin can get retarded, because that's the appeal. And also, that's the appeal to boomers, right? People think that, oh, the TradFi, they're coming because, you know, what do you think they're coming for? They're coming because they've heard of this fucking asset that goes up hundreds of % every year. And they want to put a fraction, now their risk tolerance is tiny, they want to put a fraction of their portfolio into it. But they don't come because Bitcoin trades like the S&P. They come because Bitcoin trades like a fucking child with ADHD that can't sit still and just has to run all the time. That's why they want it. If they wanted it to be like the S&P, then they would put fucking half their portfolio in it and it would trade 10% up, 4% correction, 10%. Bitcoin's retarded. Now, you're a crypto trader, so everything's retarded to you because you see all the shit coins. But to these people, a blow off top is like a feature of Bitcoin. And so, again, I'll just finish with this. This does not mean the market has to go up. I am wrong. There are many times when I'm wrong, right? I'm not always right. I still manage to make money somehow because of this little magical thing called risk management and position sizing and expected value. You don't have to be right every time. But I certainly know what not to do here, and that's short. And that goes to the next 2 fucking years. And when you're zoomed out, Bitcoin has to get where it's going anyway. It might as well do it really fast. You know, if people think it can't go there, it's usually a sign that you haven't traded for long, you haven't been in crypto for long. It's well known that Bitcoin does the vast majority of its price appreciation in a very small number of days. It does not grind up and then stay there and grind up. It tends to impulse, and then go into significant consolidations. You might think that we've been going up all year, but relatively, that last little dip took us down lower maybe than we should have with FTX, right? Then we came back up into the range. Yeah, it went to 20. Going 15 to 25 seems like it's rallied a lot. Drops back to 20 and then up. But this was all the exact same price that we were at in July, and August and September and October. This is a range. This is a consolidation. We then moved up towards 30k, which again is a price that we spent a long time at. And then we went into a range. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. None of this has been trending. I know you're like, oh, what do you mean we're in a weekly uptrend? Yes, of course, we're making higher highs and higher lows on the weekly. But this is not an impulsive trending move. There was no impulsive trending move here. There were impulses to take us from the range low to the range high, yes. There was a breakout with a rounded top, so not very impulsive. There was a good reaction and a breakout that took us to where the previous breakdown level was from Luna. Then there was a significant consolidation. Then we had an actual impulsive breakout with continuation. And now we are in one of these crazy trends. The market has changed. It has shifted. And if it goes to 52 and then stops and then spends the next 3 months declining all the way back to 36, that would also be normal. So if you're like, when's the dip going to come? The dip's going to come when you don't want it. I can guarantee you we're going to be in the low 30s, low to mid 30s, some point next year. And nobody's going to want to buy it. Because they're going to want lower. Because that's always how they feel. So, that's enough bull propaganda for today. I don't think it's over. GM. Don't use leverage. Spot only. The market is very forgiving. If you have a suboptimal entry on spot, you can just wait several weeks and you'll be in profit. If you have a suboptimal entry on leverage, you will get wrecked.